Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Beyond Truck Podcast. Jerry Curl bringing you this midday episode. We're pouring into you this week. We're pouring into you every day because you pour into us every day. So I want to make sure that we continue to show up for you. I want to first of all say thank you for the ones that joined our YouTube. Thank you for the ones that joined our podcast. I keep sharing this for you. We show up for you. I want you to know one thing. You are the most important thing that we have. The professional driver, the men and women pounding that pavement every day, sacrificing the home time, and many times our own health, our lives, just like our military does. We have many military. Thank you, military. All you that served, I want to say thank you. We love you. We have what we have because of you. And if you have family members and anyone listening that maybe you're in the military listening, thank you for protecting our country. Thank you for making a beautiful nation, country, world, providing us with safety as you're protecting our country at foreign soils, borders, waters. You professional drivers are doing the same thing on the asphalt every day. We love you. We appreciate you. That's why we bring this for you, to help you enhance your life. Know that you're appreciated. You live longer. So I want to dive right into it because yesterday I told you we were going to tear into this one. We talked about, yesterday was the foundation. I want to get into this one about the diabetes. This week I'm going to be diving into it little by little at a time. I want to make sure that we understand the importance of all this because it is critical that we understand how every decision we make is a brick in your foundation. Or it's either a strike with a wrecking ball that can take days away from you or add days to your life. I'm going to remind you, every decision you make affects not only you, but your future generations, the ones that you'll never meet. So, yesterday I spoke to you about the small decisions, how little decisions create big impact. They do. Well, I did a podcast some time ago about the Four Horsemen. It was after I read the book Uplive by Peter Attia. And I couldn't put this thing down once I started reading it and what I was learning and how it affects our industry and why things happen to us the way they do. Then I started listening to another podcast here today about dementia. And that's why I'm bringing this to you because I'm going to tie this all together, but I don't want you drinking from a fire hose. Because the four horsemen we have are diabetes, cardiovascular, dementia, and cancer. And diabetes is the precursor for all of them. And I can't tell you, when I talk to healthcare professionals, the importance of your health going into an illness or an injury is the utmost important. I live healthy. I did not live healthy before. No fault of my parents, no fault of nothing but my own. I chose what I wanted to eat. I chose what I wanted to drink. I chose my bad habits. And I realized soon, if I'm going to live a healthy life, I better start making healthy decisions. It's simple. You want to live a healthy life? Make healthy decisions. You want to take away from your life? Make poor decisions. So I soon started changing my habits little at a time. I was very uneducated at it. I started eating the wrong foods, thought I was eating healthy, all that stuff, until I become educated and disciplined. And like I said this morning in my post, the people that love discipline are the people that love knowledge. And when you create knowledge, you create discipline. So as we roll forward this week, I want you to know we're going to be rolling in. I want to roll this into dementia next, because this diabetes is our pandemic. And the importance of being healthy when we get into this illness or injury is critical, because it affects our outcome. And I just had conversation with a healthcare provider the other day, and they said one of the biggest setbacks for people when they have an injury is diabetes. Their ability to heal and recover fully. And I want to remind you that diabetes doesn't start when you're 50 or 60. It starts in your 20s and your 30s. It's all them little decisions you make every single day over decades that leads to diabetes. And then diabetes fuels these other things. But often I hear, well, Jerry, you told me all the things that I shouldn't do. What should I do? So I'm going to try to walk you through a few today. But first, I want to take you back to the diabetes. Diabetes often, not all the time, can be controlled with your diet. There is a form of diabetes, type 2, we can control their diet, but not everybody's diabetes will be able to be controlled with diet. And I'm not a doctor. I want you to consult with your doctor, your physician, your healthcare provider, anybody. You need to consult your doctor before you start changing anything in your health. And you need to go there, I say regularly, every 90 days or at least every 6 months. If you're diabetic, you should be visiting. And you should be monitoring. What you don't monitor, what you don't measure, you don't improve. And you're monitoring your sugar level. So when you start taking medications for diabetes and you start altering the way you eat, you can crash your sugar, things like that. It throws your system out of whack. So you have to proceed cautiously when you get into changes to your healthcare. But I want to remind you also, the little amount of sugar that is recommended is 35 grams for a male, 25 for a woman, for middle-aged active. Middle-aged and active. I don't know about you, but I'm not middle-aged, but I might be active. And some of you are older or younger, and they're not active. And you say, well, that's great, but what is 35 grams? Well, 2 bananas would be your maximum sugar for the day. And I've known diabetics that have been to the doctor, and they said you need to eat more fruit. So they eat 4 to 6 bananas a day. Off the chart sugar. A large super gulp Mountain Dew would last time I looked at one, I was at a pop station waiting for my food, and I wasn't getting pop. There was 114 grams of added sugar in that drink. 114. That's enough for 4 days. 4 days in one drink. And how many drinks you drink in a day? Your body can't take that. It's saturated. I want you to look around right now before we continue. Look in your cab. Look in your cupboard. I don't know where you're at right now. And I want you to look to see what pop, what sugar drinks you have, what candy bars, what candy, what do you have right now? And you look at that and you look at the amount of sugar in it, and I bet you'd be surprised. This is something serious, folks, that we need to get our hand on. Because when you go to the doctor, they'll ask you, is anybody in your family diabetic? Has anybody else in your family had cancer? Anybody else in your family had this, high blood pressure, cardiovascular? Because when we don't tackle diabetes, it turns into cardiovascular disease, cancer, and dementia. Diabetes is the only one that we can stop in its tracks. After it turns into diabetes, goes into these other forms, you can only slow the progress of cardiovascular, cancer, and dementia. So I'm going to remind you, diabetes is the only one we can stop in its tracks. When it transpires into cancer, cardiovascular, dementia, you only have the ability to slow the progress. And it's terrible. Because, in our food industry, added sugar is my enemy number one. It's made to absorb through your liver, through your system instantly. and your brain gets that hit of that addictive sugar, and it wants more. Highly addictive. That's why they bought it. The best example I use is look at the Super Bowl commercial. What do they put on there? Beer, pop, chips. You don't see vegetables. They don't advertise broccoli on the Super Bowl commercial. Now, do they? No. That's why I tell you to shop the perimeter of the store. The real foods. The vegetables, the fruits, the meats, the dairy. The rest of the food in the aisle, I call it the poison. I call it death row. I don't shop the aisles. I shouldn't say never. Number one rule, many number one rules, don't eat out of a box. Eat real food. The majority of food I eat doesn't even have a food label on it. When I buy a pepper, when I buy broccoli, when I buy carrots, when I buy spinach, when I buy chicken, when I buy fish, I don't need a food label. An egg. An egg is an egg. A steak is a steak. Chicken's chicken. A pepper is a pepper. An apple, an apple. A banana, banana. Pretty simple. I don't need to try to understand the ingredients in there. If it's in a box, I don't need it. Yes, that means breakfast cereal, pancakes, all that stuff. Diabetes is something, people, that we have to understand is our enemy. Enemy number one. That is the pandemic. I forget the stat. I didn't even look it up, but I think they said like 30% of your children now are diabetic in their teens. I want you to roll back and think about how many kids were diabetic when you were in school. Very few, if any. Now I want you to go back, find your family photo albums, and look back in the 60s and the 70s. And I'll bet you look at all them pictures and you find them people to be smaller, more physically fit. Before the introduction of all this added sugar and these refined grains. So please understand the importance of diabetes. We have sedentary lifestyles in this industry. Another hit against us. We have poor circulation because of that sedentary lifestyle. Another hit against us. We have a poor opportunity to buy quality food at a fuel stop. Another setback against us. But that doesn't stop us from becoming educated and overcoming that challenge. No difference than you challenge everything else, the traffic, the weather, the long hours, the commitments. So today I want to start bringing you some of this because many of us might think, I don't have sleep apnea. I don't have cardiovascular disease. I don't have diabetes. I don't have dementia yet. You don't know. Because many of us don't want to go to the doctor and be labeled. I hear that. Not me. I've never been diagnosed with sleep apnea. Have you been checked for it? Not me. I'm not diabetic. Have you been checked for it? Ignoring it is the worst thing you can do because it's a ticking time bomb inside you. I tell you this because I love you. And I want you to understand, although you might think the world and the deck is stacked against you, it's not. This is achievable. Your life health is achievable. Your great health is achievable. Trucking, transportation is an industry. Your healthcare is your lifestyle. The way you live is your lifestyle. Your children will mirror you. The reason they ask you if you have previous relatives with dementia, diabetes, cardiovascular, because you acquire the same habits around them. If you're a healthcare provider for somebody with dementia, they say you're 600% more likely to get dementia because you have the same poor sleep habits. You have the same poor habit for nutrition, things like that, the stress. These things are all critical to you. I want to make sure that you understand. I break this down little by little. The proper amount of sleep. Get your 7 hours of sleep. Quality sleep. Wake up rested. When you wake up, drink water. Water. We need water and air to live. You won't live without either one of them too. You'll live without added sugar. You'll live without pancakes. You'll live without the breads. We need water and air and high quality protein foods, real vegetables. And if we start selecting that, you're great. 30 grams of protein, 35 grams of protein per meal. Did you see how they just changed it now to, they used to say it was like a 0.7 grams of protein per body weight. Now it's like 1 to 1.5. So if I weigh 170, I should be doing 170 grams of protein to maintain my weight. I do 140 to 150 grams of protein a day, and I never thought I could do that. You can do it. I do 3 eggs in the morning with some egg white wraps, no bread. Now I have no carbs and all protein. I just knocked off 31 or 32 grams of protein, and I'm full for 5 hours. Egg white wrap. Guess what's in them? Egg. There's no additives, no added sugar, no junk. You drink your coffee in the morning, you put all these coffee creamers in there, highly addictive added sugars. You know what I put in mine? I put collagen in mine and some protein shake. A protein shake that's high quality protein shake with no added sugar. I do 2 grams of sugar per serving of anything I eat. And I'm going to remind you, I do not shop the aisles in the store. I could eat all week on the perimeter of the store. Yes. On the perimeter of the store. So diabetes is something that I want you to understand. If people put a label on you, you're just diabetic, it's in your mind. Our mind is our powerful weapon. We have to get up and get moving. We have to choose quality foods, high protein, low carbs. And when I talk low carbs, if it says light dressings, forget about it. Because if you flip that label over, it's full of added sugar. It's all marketing. Keto, light, net carbs. It's all marketing, people. They're keeping you addicted in a different way. I want you to look around what you got in the truck. How many of you got a banana, an apple, an orange, real meat? Not salamis, not processed meat, not all this other stuff. A good old chicken, a good old steak, a good old piece of fish. What we put in our bodies matters. The little decisions. I should do one on alcohol because that is, to me, that is a killer. Diabetes is something that we have to understand is a national pandemic. It leads to obesity. That's sugar. You can't burn it off. It gets stored as fat. That fat builds up around your heart. That fat attacks your cardiovascular system. Cancer thrives on sugar. It fuels cancer. Sugar fuels cancer and dementia. I want you to understand how important this is. Maybe you've got some good information here in the last 19 minutes. I hope what I'm bringing you today is a game changer. Because the ones that I've helped the most make the biggest difference were diabetics. And the only thing they changed was their mind. And that mindset was their daily habits of what they chose to eat and drink. They gave up the pops, the diet pops, the no added pops, no added sugar pops. They started moving. They didn't have to run a marathon. They didn't have to do 100 push-ups. They just got moving. I tell you this because, once again, I've seen somebody struggling with it. And it hurts when you know it's curable. And you know what hurt the most was them telling me, I just can't do it, Jerry. I can't live that way. That's a choice. Every can't should be overridden with I can, I will, I am made for more. You can do anything. It boils down to your willingness of how bad you want to live. How bad do you want to live? Somebody wants you here tomorrow. Your decisions today are creating your future. And I hope that future lives well past tomorrow for every single one of us. So please consult with your physicians before changing anything. But know one thing, it's never too late to start living healthy. And it's simply by just eating healthy. When you start eating healthy and feeling different, you will start doing more exercise. You will do more activity. I'm here to tell you I'm living proof. I could still be 350 pounds. By now, I'd probably be 450 pounds. I don't know. But I know one thing. I made the decision. Everything started with the decision one day to be healthy. Then I learned how to be healthy. We've been through the food label. We've talked about the diabetes, the cardiovascular, the sleep apneas, all these things on previous podcasts. I do these to keep them on the forefront of your mind. Because I can assure you, there's a healthier version waiting out there for you. It's just waiting for you to be courageous enough to step boldly into it. I'm here to walk alongside you in that journey. I want you to know one thing. Nobody will love you more than me. And nobody will be more honest with you than me. I tell you that because I love you. I can tell you, oh, you'll be fine. One drink, one more candy bar won't hurt. It's always one more. Then sometimes we don't get the chance for one more day. And I know one thing. The people that I helped become healthier, I want you to know one thing. They did the heavy lifting. And I'm very damn proud of them. But every one of them wish they would have started earlier. Especially ones that are really sick. I want you to know there's hope out there for you. I believe in you. You believe in you. This podcast is for you. In the show notes is a link to our link tree to keep these messages coming for you. If you want to contact me and you want advice, help, thrive at beyondthetruck.com. I'm going to remind you, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a personal trainer. I'm not God. I'm a professional driver just like you. From one professional driver to another, I'm very proud of you. I can do it. You can do it. We can do it together. No one is as strong as everyone. No one is as strong as everyone. We're coming for you. We love you. We appreciate you. Keep watching. Keep tuning in. We're going to be talking more about dementia coming up. Be safe. Be great.